Hi, it's Studio 120 and I'm Beck Lane. I want to address something that I've addressed a couple of times in the past few videos. We're going into the Biden-Harris first full week of being the new administration. And last week, just Wednesday, when the inauguration happened, I felt such a load be lifted off my shoulders. But then I started asking questions, and I said this in different videos. Or stating rather, this is now an administration that values the arts and culture. So much so that in the inauguration celebrations last Wednesday night, it was all singers and poets and, entertainers. There was and of course the visual arts. There was a real focus put on the arts, and Pelosi and Harris and a number of other people have stated how important the arts are to American culture. They're important to any culture. We are the culture. The artists, the arts, they are culture. In every little town, in every community, in every city, in every country around the world, we are the core. We are the core. The artists, the creators, the developers. We've been made to feel small for decades now, and it's just dawning on me, that we could change things, that we really could change things. So I was tweeting back and forth with a art organization in DC this morning. Oh, these are so dirty. And but I've also been tweeting to different people, tweeting and emailing to different people in government who could really make a difference to artists across the country, especially artists that are on the fringe like me or you. We're not known. We work as professional artists. We have very strong portfolios, but we've been made to flounder all these decades. Well, go do an art fair. Join that local club and treat it like it's a hobby. This is not a friggin' hobby for me. This is not a hobby. So doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me anymore at all. So I've become a little bit more aggressive in asking questions, and especially as I formulate my questions. And one of the questions I've had, especially these past few days, is for larger organizations, especially, is I know you want my money, you want me to join, but what are you actually offering me, or any artist who isn't? And here's the point: well connected. For my $30 to $150, what exactly do you bring to the table? And like one organization this morning was like, well, check out our public, blah, blah, blah. And they had this really great page with all these really pretty little ideas on it, but it's nothing new. What I'm asking for and looking for are real opportunities for artists, not grants for art organizations, not, a blessing because I want to teach kids how to make hand puppets. Real American opportunities for real artists, American artists, whatever that means. I don't mean white American artists. I mean Americans, artists in the United States. I think it was 1935 that the WPA went into effect. The Works Program Administration. The Works Program Administration opened up jobs to help create to repair infrastructure, build roads, build sidewalks, build plumbing. Like, there was all these opportunities that are now taken up by businesses. So I'm not sure how that would work, but what I'm really interested in is the artists that were brought into the WPA program. tens of thousands of artists were paid every week to produce art. You had to produce a certain amount of artwork and you could get paid. And I think at the time it was only like $24 a week. But again, this is the 30s, right through World War II. But you had to produce a certain amount of artwork. Then there were larger opportunities, as we've seen in these big murals done in post offices across the country. Or I loved walking around East Providence and seeing, these sometimes ornately designed plates in the sidewalks for the WPA. Someone had to design that. There were so many opportunities that were opened up by the United States government, by the White House, by FDR for artists. And I think what I'm proposing is that we all start contacting, not even locally, because locally to me is just a waste of time, but contacting people in the White House administration, in higher levels of government, and saying, look, it worked during the WPA programs that, artists were had to produce work. They were paid to produce work, rather, where that money went back into the economy, instead of paying people for unemployment or for welfare, because, because number one, even a full-time job doesn't pay the rent now. Why not pay artists, singers, writers, visual artists to produce work that could then go back into the smaller communities? I know I find it difficult a lot of times to be accepted in whatever community I'm in. It was much easier up north, but most of the time what I find so incredibly frustrating is the focus that's put on people who are well connected. It's not the art. It's not the artist. It's not about any value that they could bring to the table in these smaller towns that I've been in, or small-minded towns. But that person's a friend of, so it's okay. She can come in the door. He can come in the door. I find that pretty revolting. I've tried several times to apply to events here where I'm living now, and it was only later when they found out, someone, that they were like, oh, we're really sorry we didn't take you. We didn't realize you were, you knew somebody. Well, what does that matter? What the fuck does that matter? Excuse me. So that's why I'm saying, why don't we, and that's happened in multiple places, not just here, but multiple places. Why not take the artist for what they have to contribute? I think it's an age-old question. But let's start, my suggestion is that we start emailing and tweeting and, writing all these, not just organizations, but people in the higher levels, and saying, we've got an idea. Instead of running on that tired old trope that I just absolutely hate this, the starving artist, and it's a big laugh, why not take it and use it to America's advantage? Take that poor starving artist, the one on the fringe, that actually has a full portfolio and is not a crafter stringing beads together, on the weekends with their kids. Why not take that person, these people that really are driving culture, or could have the potential to drive culture, take them, fund them, work with them, and rebuild the economy that way. Whenever a town or a city has fallen apart, fallen into disrepair, who moves in? Who do people start appealing to? They start appealing to the artists. Oh, we won't charge you much because it's really crappy and there's rats and stuff, but we'll allow you to stay here. We'll allow you to rebuild our reputation. What if we took that and flipped it a little bit? We found another way to view it, another way to push it. because we kind of are there. We watched everything get destroyed over the past 4 years. I think it's a really, really, really good time for art and artists. But we've got to start saying, what do you have to offer us? We are your backbone. We are your backbone. We are your heart. We are at the core of every community, big or small, throughout the United States. How can we contribute? But what are you going to do for us so we're not left to flounder as the starving artist anymore? It's not funny. It's not cute. It's exhausting. We are the center of the culture, and we need to be treated with respect. Maybe I'm not doing fashionable art right now. Maybe you're not doing fashionable, cute, adorable little pieces of artwork that are up on TikTok because we're friggin' serious about what we do. We're not putting googly eyes on socks and, dancing in our underwear for the entertainment of others. We're serious artists. We're serious artists that contribute to the United States, and I think it's time we started saying we'd like to contribute more. We need your help. What can you do? For individual artists who aren't on the inside, who don't have good connections, and who are quite frankly broker than broke. I think it's our time. So why don't you have a think? I'm going to keep thinking. I'm going to keep letting the steam rise to my head. I think it's an excellent time. We just have to work together. So if you have any ideas, put them in the comments section, and let's put our heads together. And let's start emailing people. Let's start tweeting people. The Pelosi's and the arts foundations and all that. Let's get to work. Let's get to work on helping ourselves. And let's think about, see if we can start pushing a WPA type of idea. Okay? All right, thanks. Ciao. Ciao. Ready, Carrie? Ready? Oh, sorry, Punky. Meow, meow, meow. I know Punky's been watching again, so meow, meow, meow. And ready, Carrie? Here we go. Meow. Boing.